In this video, we will explore one of the humanistic conceptions of personality, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The humanistic theories of personality began in response to perceived limitations of psychodynamic theories, especially psychoanalysis and dream therapy. Individuals like Abraham Maslow felt that the psychodynamic theories failed to adequately address issues such as the meaning of behavior and the nature of healthy growth. A fundamentally new approach emerged in psychology, very different to psychodynamic theory, called humanistic psychology. The humanistic conception relies on the idea that humans have free will and the potential for personal development. Rather than focusing on the influence of past experiences in childhood on personality, the humanistic approach is holistic. It looks at the whole person and concentrates on healthy psychological functioning. As a humanist, Maslow believed that people have an inborn desire to be self-actualized, that is, to be all they can be. In order to achieve these ultimate goals, however, a number of more basic needs must be met, such as the need for food, safety, love, and self-esteem. Some needs take precedence over others, and once one level is fulfilled, we will be motivated to achieve the next need in the hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy is most often displayed as a pyramid. The lowest levels of the pyramid are made up of the most basic needs, while the most complex needs are at the top of the pyramid. There are 5 different levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This 5-stage model can be divided into deficiency needs and growth needs. The first 4 levels are often referred to as deficiency or basic needs, and the top level is known as growth or being needs. Deficiency needs arise due to deprivation. Satisfying these lower level needs is important in order to avoid unpleasant feelings or consequences. They motivate people when they are unmet, and the motivation to fulfill such needs will become stronger the longer the duration they are denied. For example, the longer a person goes without food, the more hungry they will become. When a deficit need has been more or less satisfied, it will go away, and our activities become habitually directed towards meeting the next set of needs that we have yet to satisfy. These then become our salient needs. However, growth needs continue to be felt and may even become stronger once they have been engaged. Growth needs do not stem from a lack of something, but rather from a desire to grow as a person. Once these growth needs have been reasonably satisfied, one may be able to reach the highest level called self-actualization. Every person is capable and has the desire to move up the hierarchy toward a level of self-actualization. Unfortunately, progress is often disrupted by a failure to meet lower level needs. Life experiences, including divorce and loss of a job, may cause an individual to fluctuate between levels of the hierarchy. Therefore, not everyone will move through the hierarchy in a unidirectional manner, but may move back and forth between the different types of needs. Now that we've examined how Maslow's hierarchy works, let's take a closer look at each tier, starting at the lowest level, physiological needs. Needs at the bottom of the pyramid are basic physical requirements that are vital to our survival, including the need for food, water, sleep, sex, and warmth. If these needs are not satisfied, the human body cannot function optimally. Maslow considered physiological needs the most important, as all the other needs become secondary until these needs are met. Once these lower level needs have been met, people can move on to the next level of needs, which are for safety and security. People want control and order in their lives, so this need for safety and security contributes largely to behaviours at this level. Basic safety and security needs include financial security, law and order, health and wellness, and safety against accidents and injury. Finding a job, obtaining health insurance and healthcare, contributing money to a savings account, and moving into a safer neighbourhood are all examples of actions motivated by the security and safety needs. After physiological and safety needs have been fulfilled, the third level of human needs is social and involves feelings of belongingness. The need for interpersonal relationships motivates behaviour. Examples include friendship, intimacy, trust and acceptance, receiving and giving affection, and love. Affiliating and being part of groups such as religious groups, sports teams, book clubs and other group activities are also an important part of love and belonging. At the fourth level in Maslow's hierarchy is the need for appreciation and respect. People have a need to accomplish things and then have their efforts recognised. Esteem needs can therefore be classified into two categories: esteem for oneself, dignity, achievement, mastery, independence, and the desire for reputation or respect from others, including status and prestige. People need to sense that they are valued by others and feel that they are making a contribution to the world. Participation in professional activities, academic accomplishments, athletic or team participation, and personal hobbies can all play a role in fulfilling the esteem needs. People who are able to satisfy the esteem needs by achieving good self-esteem and the recognition of others tend to feel confident in their abilities. Those who lack self-esteem and the respect of others can develop feelings of inferiority. At the very peak of Maslow's hierarchy are the self-actualization needs. What a man can be, he must be, Maslow explained, referring to the need people have to achieve their full potential as human beings. According to Maslow's definition of self-actualization, it may be loosely described as the full use and exploitation of talents, capabilities, and potentialities. Such people seem to be fulfilling themselves and to be doing the best that they are capable of doing. They are people who have developed or are developing to the full stature of which they are capable. Although we are all theoretically capable of self-actualizing, most of us will not do so, or only to a limited degree. Maslow estimated that only 2% of people would reach the state of self-actualization. Some of the key characteristics of self-actualized people includes having frequent peak experiences. These are moments of transcendence in which a person emerges feeling changed and transformed. Self-actualizing people are self-aware and concerned with personal growth, focusing on the journey rather than the destination. They are less concerned with the opinions of others, not feeling the need to make themselves seem special or different. They are just themselves. They have a high value for humanity and human goodness, are grateful and generous. They enjoy applying their problem-solving skills to real-world situations, and they like helping other people improve their own lives. Self-actualized people are visionary, spontaneous in thought and action, creative, and have a thoughtful sense of humour. Self-actualized individuals also value their privacy and enjoy solitude. While they also love the company of others, taking time to themselves is essential for their personal discovery and cultivating their individual potential. This is quite an extensive list of characteristics, but is a summary only. There are many others that can be possessed by self-actualized individuals. It is important to note that Maslow's five-stage model has been expanded to include cognitive and aesthetic needs, and later transcendence needs. However, I'm not going to go into these three additional tiers in this video, as it is not essential for you to know these levels for the end-of-year exam. Having a simple awareness of the fact that the hierarchy has subsequently been expanded is enough. The most significant limitation of Maslow's theory concerns his methodology. Maslow formulated the characteristics of self-actualized individuals from undertaking a qualitative method called biographical analysis. He looked at the biographies and writings of 18 people he identified as being self-actualized. From these sources, he developed a list of qualities that seemed characteristic of this specific group of people, as opposed to humanity in general. Not only is this method extremely subjective, but Maslow focused on a small sample of highly educated white males, including Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, and Beethoven. Although Maslow did study self-actualized females such as Eleanor Roosevelt and Mother Teresa, they comprised a small proportion of his sample. This makes it difficult to generalize his theory to females and individuals from lower social classes or different ethnicity, thus questioning the population validity of Maslow's findings. Another criticism concerns Maslow's assumption that the lower needs must be satisfied before a person can achieve their potential and self-actualize. This is not always the case. Through examining cultures in which large numbers of people live in poverty, such as India, it is clear that people are still capable of higher order needs such as love and belongingness. However, this should not occur as, according to Maslow, people who have difficulty achieving very basic physiological needs are not capable of meeting higher growth needs. Also, many creative people, such as authors and artists like Rembrandt and Van Gogh, lived in poverty throughout their lifetime, yet it could be argued that they achieved self-actualization. The other criticism is that needs cannot be ordered in a linear fashion, such as in Maslow's hierarchy. Psychologists now conceptualize motivation as a pluralistic behavior, whereby needs can operate on many levels simultaneously. A person may be motivated by higher growth needs at the same time as lower level deficiency needs. Let's finish by looking at a few past exam questions on the humanistic conception of personality. This question is an extended response question, so each dot point is worth 8 marks, which means you need 4 ideas well described. The first dot point relates to the altered states of awareness topic, so answer the second dot point only. Pause the video while you do this. As part of your answer here, you may find it helpful to draw a diagram of the hierarchy. However, be aware that at most you may receive 1 or 2 content marks for a correct hierarchy diagram, and you need to ensure that it is described in detail in relation to Chelsea. A correct description of Maslow's hierarchy alone, without any relevance to Chelsea, will award you a maximum of 4 marks out of 8. There are a number of ways you could approach this question. You could discuss deficiency and growth needs, or you could describe each level of the hierarchy in more detail. Either way, I would start with a definition of Maslow's hierarchy. Then you need to ensure that the rest of your answer relates to the development of Chelsea's personality. For example, Chelsea has achieved physiological and safety needs as she has a position as an accountant, which provides her safety needs such as financial security, but also helps her meet her physiological needs such as shelter, food and drink. Chelsea seems to have met her love and belonging needs as she has made new friends at work that make her feel valued. Chelsea seems to be at the self-esteem level of the hierarchy, as she is gaining confidence in her ability due to the respect she is receiving from her friends at work. Time for another question. This one is a bit different to the questions we have examined in the personality video series so far. Pause the video and see how you go answering it. There are many differences you could discuss here. Either way, 2 marks are allocated to each conception, so make sure you describe the difference between the two fully. Some of the differences you could discuss here include pessimistic versus optimistic. Humanism does not see conflict and repression as inevitable, as do psychodynamic approaches. It is more optimistic or positive in its view of human nature. It focuses on the healthy personality rather than on abnormality, as is the case in psychodynamic conceptions. Deterministic versus growth over the lifespan. The humanistic approach argues for healthy growth, whereas the psychodynamic one does not offer a description of how to develop. Unconscious versus free will. The humanistic approach holds that humans have free will. This ability to make choices also allows an individual to deliberately seek out value and meaning. How an individual chooses to find such meaning or value determines their personal identity, which distinguishes them from other people. In contrast, the psychodynamic approach believes that humans are influenced in their choices due to their unconscious. Ages and stages versus continuous growth. Treatment based on the past versus treatment based on the present. And mind separated into structures versus holistic growth. For more detail explaining each of these differences, see the 2009 exam suggested answers on sector. Let's look at one final question. This one is worth 6 marks, so you need 3 ideas well described relating to Obama's personality. Pause the video while you answer this question. Similar to the previous question about Chelsea, you could discuss each level of the hierarchy in more detail, or deficiency versus growth needs. Regardless, it needs to fit the description of Barack Obama and not be general humanistic theory alone. In this case, Obama has achieved physiological and safety needs and seems to be self-actualized, as he has fulfilled his life's purpose. Obama possesses many of the characteristics of a self-actualized person, including being concerned for the welfare of humanity, having deep, satisfying interpersonal relationships with a few people, being visionary, self-aware, and accepting himself and others for what they are. He also perceives reality efficiently and can tolerate uncertainty. That's it for today, and I'll see you next time for some more shorts in psychology.